One of the things I've found among content creators is that they generally have a focused vision on how they want their branding to look. Often is the case when they're starting out, they either lack the necessary funds to commission a professional to create them something, or the skills to do it themselves. If you've seen any of my streaming scene animations, or even the intro sequence to my videos, those animations are custom made by me. And today, I'm going to give you a place to start from so you can make your own animations using Adobe After Effects. Alright, so the first thing that you'll want to do after launching After Effects, obviously, is to set up your project workspace. To do that, you'll click New Composition on this window. And from there, you'll set the various parameters of your project. You'll want to give your composition a title. You can put whatever you want in, but for your own sanity, I recommend putting something appropriate and labeling everything. Next, you want to set the resolution and the frame rate of your project. This is basically what size your animation will be and how each frame will play back. The higher the frame rate, the smoother the animation. Once you've set your project settings, you'll be presented with your workspace. Over here are your project assets. Everything you create to use in your project will be listed here for easy access. Down here are the various layers in your project, each with their own options and values that can be changed. This is the timeline of your project. In this area, you'll mostly be dealing with keyframes, which we'll cover a bit later. This is the effects panel. There's a bunch of cool presets in here that you can use to customize to your own liking. These are the playback options. When you click play, you can do a quick render to see how your animation will play out. And the big thing there is the preview window. Most of the stuff that you do in After Effects will involve using keyframes. There's a few types of keyframes, but we're only going to focus on the basics for now. The first is the normal keyframe, which takes a property or an effect and gives it a start and end value. Everything in between is automatically filled in by After Effects as the animation plays out. The other main keyframe is called a hold keyframe. Unlike your normal keyframe, it automatically jumps from one value to the next rather than filling in the gaps. To create a new composition, go to the Project Assets area and right-click and click New Composition. Give the composition a name and set the settings for the composition, such as resolution and frame rate. From there, start working on parts of the animation you want in the composition. You can apply effects to your sources here, but it sometimes may not play well with other effects in your main composition, so keep that in mind. You can use the Slice tool by pressing Ctrl, Shift and D on a Windows PC as a quick way of trimming down the length of the source in your animation. There are a few ways that you can apply effects to your project. The most common way is to use an adjustment layer. To create a new adjustment layer, click the layer area, select new, and then select adjustment layer. Then go over to the Effects and Presets panel and search for the effect that you want. Then either drag it into the adjustment layer or double click the effect and it will automatically apply to any layers currently highlighted. Then simply adjust the effect parameters as necessary or to your liking. The other way to do it is to put the effect directly on the source layer, but I generally don't do it this way, but it all depends on the effect and what you want it to apply to. The final part of the basics is exporting your animation to a video file that can be used in other software, like OBS Studio. To export, go to the File menu, select Export, then Add to Render Queue. The lower part of your workspace will change to the Render Queue panel. From here, you can set what type of file you want you to export your animation to and set any of the quality options as necessary. For this demonstration, I'm going to use Apple QuickTime, which allows alpha transparency. Once you're done fiddling with your settings, click Render and wait for your animation to bake. That's it for my basics of After Effects video. There's plenty of channels that do specific tutorials on different animation effects, and I'll put links in the description for the channels that I recommend. If you liked this video and want to see more content like this, leave a comment and hit the thumbs up button. If you're not already, consider subscribing to the channel. I also want to give a huge shout out to my patrons. You guys are absolute legends, and I'll see you all in the next video.